5 favorite Steve Gadd grooves. On number 1, the Way Back Home groove. So the basic of this groove is just a 60-note double-handed groove. But you don't play the right hand, you only play the left hand on the hi-hat and the right hand plays a backbeat. The next step is to play an open hi-hat with your left feet on the afterbeat. That's an extra hi-hat note. The next step is to play a very difficult 60-note syncopation bass drum pattern. Heel-toe and toe-heel. So that one is toe-heel. Then you play the downbeat on the 1. If the downbeat is the first note, you play heel-toe. So the downbeat is always the heel. This is a very good exercise to practice with your left hand. So the complete beat is like this. Slow, it's very hard to play, so I play it a little bit faster now. There's also a version on the MI clinic that he plays this groove, but his left hand plays the backbeat, and this is the hardest way. So you play the whole groove with your left hand almost. You have to play a very firm backbeat. So your right hand is free to play quarter notes on your bell of your cymbal. On number 2, this groove has no name, but he plays it on a lot of records and on a lot of seminars and clinics. I call it the Steve Gadd Reggae. So it's a very funny groove and your left hand is the leading part. So watch this on a clinic of the Siljan Day 1984. With Ralph MacDonald. So funky. So your left hand is the lead, but it's on the syncopation. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of playing 2 hi-hats, you play a hi-hat and a click on your snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And with your right hand, you play only quarter notes. The first one on the rim of tom 2 and the second one on the cowbell. So it sounds like this. So that's not so hard. To make it groove, that's hard. But now with the bass drum. So your left hand syncopation with your bass drum. To play all the bass drum patterns is so hard. There's also a variation that you only play the backbeat on the cowbell. Alright, groove number 3. That's one famous groove. It's the Mozambique. But he plays the Mozambique in 3 different ways. There's a Latin version, there's a samba version, and there's a funk version. So first the normal Latin version. So what's a Mozambique? A Mozambique is a beat from Latin America, from Cuba. And it goes like this. You play it on a cowbell, but what's very important is your dynamics in this one. So the rest of the pattern is with your left hand, you fill up the gap. You can also play the first note together. And make it a flam. So first your cowbell and then your left hand. So then it sounds that your left hand is really laid back. And then you play an accent that what you also hear Mr. Gadd doing a lot of times is playing with his heel on his hi-hat like a splash. There's one very famous one that's he plays on a Paul Simon record. It's called Late in the Evening. Instead of playing your left hand on the snare, you play your left hand on your thumbs. Alright, the samba version is a little bit different, orchestrated, but it's the same notes. It's your right hand on the snare and your left hand on the hi-hat. And it's very cool practice to really play your bass drum, your samba bass drum, together with the grace notes on your right hand and your left hand. That's really hard. Okay, now it sounds a little bit lame. It's nice always to put dynamics into it. And what Mr. Gadd doing a lot of times is to play a backbeat, and your left hand before the backbeat gets an accent. There are a couple of funk versions, and this one is from the Apple Juice album. He plays again the right hand on the cowbell. So you play more of a backbeat on it. It's nice to play also always, a lot of times during the samba or during a funk beat, there are quarter notes as an accompaniment. There's a quarter note pattern on it with your left feet. Okay, beat number 4. That's a beat he plays on a drum solo here in Bern. The basic of this pattern is the inverted paradiddle. So you have the normal paradiddle, right, left, 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 left. But this is the inverted one. So right, left, right, left. For the paradiddles and the inverted paradiddles, Mr. Gadd uses a lot for grooves. Okay, so the first part of the phrasing is this one. But you play only the left hand and accent on the last note. And then you play right, left, bass, bass, snare. Right, left, bass, bass, snare. So. The last groove, groove number 5, sounds like this. So what you do is playing 30-second ghost notes. So between your 2 hi-hat 8 notes, you play a 30-second pattern. But the hardest thing is you play also a 30-second note behind your second 8 note on the hi-hat.